Slender Man. Honestly, Slenderman was probably one of the greatest creepypastas of our era, when I think about it. When I think of the early 2000s to late 2000s, I really do think of Slenderman. He was a big part of my childhood growing up when he was the sort of big fear trend. All those, videos of sighting him and stuff, that was all stuff I used to love as a kid. It was really like a big part of my, youth growing up. And now obviously there's sort of a dark side to the creepypasta, cough cough, actual stabbing, cough cough. And I'm also not necessarily talking about the movies that came out. There's a found footage one and the one that came out in 2018. Yeah, that one could have been the coolest movie ever, but they just made it weird. They wasted a budget. That was probably the biggest letdown ever. It wasn't that I was excited for it, it was just I had hoped they would do Slenderman better justice than that. Anyways, everybody at the time would recognize him. Like, I don't think there's a single person that grew up starting from 2005 that wouldn't be able to recognize this man as Slenderman. I really do think that he is one of the greatest creepypastas of all time. Now, sure, there's a lot of things with the whole Jeff the Killer, Smiling Man, Sonic.exe. There's a whole multiverse of creepypastas, but honestly, Slenderman probably takes the cake. Now, Tentacle Monster aside, I don't care enough to look into his whole origin story and where it started, because I don't think that's part of the creepypasta. I think the fundamental part of the creepypasta that everybody cares about is the spoopy, scary, creepy tall man that everybody used to know as kids. I remember there was a whole ritual you could do to call him. You would have to put You'd have to put circles on pieces of paper and then put crosses on those, then make a circle and fall asleep in the middle. I don't know. It was a whole thing. I don't really remember, but I never tried it as a kid because I was even too scared. Like, that's how good the creepypasta was. And now, again, I know how random this video is, but I truly just wanted to get that out there about how good this creepypasta was. Bad media and horrific events aside, that was probably one of the greatest creepypastas this era has seen.